Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Scarlet Betch. I'm Jason.
And I'm Anthony.
So once again, hello to all you gay nerds out there. We're really excited to be on your website, and we hope you like us. But yeah, so this is gonna be just Anthony and I. Actually, we didn't do this last time, Anthony. Would you like to introduce yourself at all?
Hi, I'm Anthony. I'm an actuary and I like comic books. And a homo.
Well, actually, yeah, so, like, for those of you who don't know, actually, maybe even our own viewers don't know, Scarlet Betch started because Anthony and I would just Skype, or I think we just like, have phone conversations. That would
just
about
hours
and hours of ranting about comic books. And we were like, we should do something productive with this. And if we put it online, maybe some people will like it. Because we think we're hilarious.
Maybe Greg Land will hear our pleas.
I know, right? But I mean, yeah, that'll never happen.
No.
The only reason why he's on the internet is whack off, so.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. He's kind of equal opportunity. He traces porn stars for everyone. So, there you go, everyone.
But yeah, so Anthony and I, we met when I was studying abroad in Montreal, and we were roommates, bed mates, not in a skeevy way, but in a cuddly way.
Yeah, I had a trundle bed.
Yeah, and then 4 years later, here we are.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was like, because we had some friends in common, but we never met before, and I remember I got to the apartment first, and then you showed up, and I was like, "Hi, Jason, it's good to meet you. We're going to sleep in the same room for the next 4 months."
Yeah, and I actually didn't know I was gonna have a roommate / bedmate, and I was like, "What?"
That's funny because I knew when I'd just been in Australia for 5 months.
Yeah, funny how that works out. But yeah,
but it worked out. Yay, friendship.
But so speaking of gay people sleeping in beds with other gay people, this is a stretch. But Dake and Dark Wolverine.
Yeah. Was there a lot of sleeping in this one?
Wasn't there?
There was a lot of drugging.
I thought there was.
Oh, there was. Oh, at the end.
Yeah,
oh, yeah. He totally got it on.
At the end, he totally is like sleeping with other people.
Yeah, definitely. No, because I was just thinking about that one who got murdered.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
But so, I know that we were all afraid about like what's gonna happen with this new writer, and Marjorie Liu is not on this book, and it's some straight white dude, and he's gonna ruin everything. But it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we totally get like really hot like Dakin on Hollywood man.
Yeah.
Sex, and it's like kind of hot and awesome. So way to go.
Yeah, and I mean I do feel like, because they had that .1 issue that had some nice portents. They showed that they included his bisexuality in that book, in kind of just a little reference, a few panels, but it's still like it was an acknowledgement, and it was a nice tight story to introduce who Dakin was and what his goals were. And I think this continued it. It introduced so many cool characters. I love the awesome female cop character. And I was a little weirded out by the temporal mechanics of the issue. It jumped around.
I was a little confused about that too.
Yeah, at first I thought the serial killer was Dakin, but I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
What was I gonna say? Crap. I've completely forgotten my train of thought now.
You were in love with it, and it was weird that they all dressed up like Captain America, and...
Yeah, I get that.
Did you get her reference? I felt so dumb. I was like, you're a character who makes me feel dumb. I like you.
What reference are you talking about?
Because she has to establish herself that she's, like, the closer of this universe, so she has to, like, one-up the guys, and so she's like, oh, haha, you made, like, a Harry Potter reference or whatever. Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe reference. Wow, you're so smart. And then she makes an allusion to something that I didn't get. And I was like, I have to Wikipedia this.
What was the reference?
She says, you guys worked with Arthur Sherbius for a while, didn't you? And they go, huh? And she says, Arthur Sherbius. Oh, okay, no, she explained it and I just forgot it. Okay. So, hi guys, I'm illiterate. Yeah, no, okay, so she said he designed the first Enigma code. Okay, well that's cool. Good. Well, I'm glad she explained it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so...
I was just distracted when she said that by the giant puddle of blood. I apologize.
Yeah. Also, I don't think blood looks like that. Like, it's just, it's so clean and, like, just like flat and, like...
Would you like some CGI blood, Jason?
No, but it's just, like, I'm just saying the colorist was lazy. That's flat color there. That is just a flat color. There's no shading, no nothing. It's just, like, paint tool, selection, paint tool. That's what it is.
This isn't what. Have you ever read that Wolverine book that's like too dangerous to show to small children? And it's like it's just blood. It's just blood for pages and pages. I flipped through it and it was literally like now he's standing talking to someone and they're all covered in blood.
Well, there was while I was reaching Guy Gardner today, there was at some point Guy Gardner had his own title called Guy Gardner. And the tagline to the issue was like Guy Gardner even more dangerous, and it's like him, and like I think at some point he said he wasn't like a Green Lantern anymore. And
he was Warrior.
Yeah, it was just he had like a sword or something shit. It was like this is weird, Guy Gardner.
Guy Gardner, you're just weird. And I mean, I've seen him written well in the context of the other Green Lanterns. Like, I think he of the Green Lanterns works best in the core, but he's still my least favorite.
Do you want to talk about Batgirl?
Sure. You didn't reid it. You bought it. You didn't read it.
And I didn't read it. I was so stupid.
It was super fun.
Yeah, I love super fun. I was like, Squire, I have to read this now.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try and not be spoilery, but they have witty banter. They fight this great villain that was introduced in the Knight and Squire limited series, which was awesome. If you guys haven't read it, it's all about the gay British Joker, Jarvis Poker, and and heroics and things like that. It was good. It ends with the whole issue is her going to meet Batman in England, in London, for her own like Batman Incorporated tie-in, and her ride from the airport is Squire, and they go and have an awesome misadventure and save a whole bunch of people's lives from getting exploded, and it's cool. It's just usual because Stephanie Brown, she's like the fun superhero, right?
Yeah.
She's the Dick Grayson of dating.
Whoa. Some weird, crazy shit just happened on my end.
I know. Did I freeze up?
Yeah, no, not only did you freeze up, you were like, that was kind of pretty cool.
Was it cool? You want to keep it?
Maybe. Well, we're just gonna move on.
Let's just move on.
Another book that came out last week was Alpha Flight Fear Itself. It's the first issue of... They're not calling it a mini-series, they're calling it a maxi-series, which just makes me think of feminine products. But
it's meant to tie into the iPad craze.
Oh, is that what it is?
No, that's more feminine hygiene jokes, because that's classy. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're bringing it, guys, ladies.
So I was really looking forward to this. The Van Lente, or I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, Van Lente, and Pack. The Point One issue was really great and fun. We got a lot of Kyle and Northstar cuteness. This issue was also good. Although I'm so
scared for Kyle. I am
really scared for Kyle. I don't but one thing that I really don't like is in the point one issue, Marina had a really great outfit. It was like all cool and mod, like effortlessly like classy. I sound like I'm on Project Runway. But the new Marina, she's like has this like weird like death metal seaweed collar, and she's like angry, and I'm like, I mean, I was reading an interview with Greg Pak about like why he changed Marina, from like a character that was like relatively kind of like somber to one that's really like angry. Granted, she just came back from the dead and she was turned into a horrible sea monster, and her estranged husband had to split her head open. Yeah,
like multiple times or something.
Yeah, so it was super fucked up.
Yeah. I glanced at her Wikipedia article to be like, what? Why is she angry? And I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. So that was unfortunate. But the things that were weird was that I just really didn't like... I mean, I think I would have liked her outfit if just without the weird collar thing.
Oh, yeah? I like death metal, her... Because her original character was so pixie. Like, she was pixie.
Yeah.
So they had to run her through limbo a couple times.
That's fair.
That's what life does to you.
Yeah, but yeah. So, what did you think otherwise of the issue?
I liked it. I really love this scene where Aurora is upside down.
Yeah.
That was really cool, you guys. Did you see her powers? Because she can fly and then she was upside down. That's cool.
Yeah. I just saw. I think it's really bizarre. Like the reporter who's reporting on this, like she's remarkably calm considering how like everything is blowing up around her. Like she's able to remember these really obscure facts about like Canadian polling and superheroes at the drop of a dime. She's like, like.
My favorite part is that there's a tidal wave hitting Vancouver, and they're like, "We're gonna dispatch 6 people to save everyone."
Yeah, 6 people, and also like. It's just incredible to me that like that there would be any kind of news program where a tidal wave is engulfing one of your largest coastal towns, and then she's like where's North Star? Because 33% of Canadians prefer North Star and Aurora as a superhero team. Why are they disappointing all of Canadians? Oh, also tidal wave. Like, back to you, Bob. Like what?
I think it's a pointed satire of celebrity culture is what's going on right there.
Perhaps.
No, it's not. Oh, I like how it ended. Do you remember how it ended?
I don't remember how it ended. It's been like a while since I read it.
It ended with the
Oh, yes. Yeah, so wait, but okay, so the thing that I also remember from Greg Pak's interview about Alpha Flight was that he was like, Alpha Flight has never really been a full team. Like even like when it was created in its inception, like they were a full team for like an issue, and then they got broken up, and like the team's always kind of been fractured and pulling together.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And so Pak was like, this is an opportunity for like them to have a full roster and like actually be a superhero team, and it's gonna be awesome. And then, not to be spoiler, but one of their own turns against them. So it's like, shit.
And I mean, not one of their own, but another. Like, there's the trap gets activated, the box trap, and like Box works for the X-Men now, but he was in Alpha Flight, and now his robots are attacking them. It's like,
yeah. But I am excited though about how in the next issue that's going to be coming out soon, I think Puck's on the cover, so I think we're going to be getting our good old friend Puck, who was last seen in Wolverine Goes to Hell, which I did not read or care about, but it happened.
I got the end when they killed Mystique.
Yeah, I missed that entire fact. I'm like, oh no, Mystique's dead, but then I suddenly quickly realized that she's gonna stay dead for all of 5.2 seconds. So
yeah, no, I mean she didn't even stay dead. Well, I mean technically she stayed dead the rest of the issue, but she was auctioned off to the Hand, whose specialty is reviving corpses as ninja assassins. So that's what happened in North Star.
That's what happened to Betsy Braddock.
Yeah, no, she went through the Siege Perilous, and the Hand had blah 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 blah. Hey, interesting fun flash fact, you guys. Did you know that the foot soldiers in in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were named after the hand.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, I always think that's funny whenever I talk about them. Oh, and that Colleen Wing leads the Nail. I was like,
oh god,
that's very bad. Whoever greenlit that was very wrong.
Yeah, at least like the claw or something, right? Like,
right?
The nail.
How about the lady finger?
Yeah, the French manicure.
More appropriate. What's next? Oh, I wanted to give out a shout out to Generation Hope.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
It's Generation Hope. It's cool. Sure, they keep having that double standard about how ladies can walk around naked because they lose their nipples and their vaginas when they become mutants. But other than that, it's cool because they're splitting up the team and there's drama. So yeah, they were a team for the first little part of that issue, and they're playing well with the idea that Hope is the mutant messiah, because that whole, messiahs themselves are played out everywhere. Every story has a messiah character, and they are just kind of boring because they're a little bit deus ex machina, and now they are having people dislike. It's very Ultimate X-Men, where the X-Men distrusted Xavier because they were like, is he just mentally forcing us to be X-Men and we can't tell because he's so powerful? And it's a little bit like, the ugly one, Zero, he's all, we're getting subtly mind controlled to love Hope. So that's effed up. And so he and the smart blue naked lady are kind of teaming up to, overthrow the tyrant Hope. I'm very excited. And this whole issue was great for Taeon because he was like Dog Boy, right? It was like, yeah, Titan senses, boo. But actually they said, oh no, he's got an adaptable power. He's like Lifeguard and Darwin, except that instead of just mutating, yeah, right? He's an interesting...
That was a gun, not a cock, just so everyone knows.
But it shoots. So instead of like growing wings or a mermaid tail or gills or armor or can't survive Sebastian Shaw's blast because he's black. I
know that you won't be able to see all of it, but that's the sign that they're bullshit.
His power is that he like his brain changes, not his brain changes, but he just utilizes all. It's like intense autism focus, in that he just will change the focus of his abilities. So in the courtroom, he just becomes this verbal prodigy and just offers this perfect explanation for why he needs to stay with the X-Men. And the issue ends with, because everyone's like, oh, I guess it must be, because he offers this argument for why it's appropriate for him to stay with Hope versus his family, who is suing to get his custody back of him. Zero at the end says, his ability is to survive however possible. That includes lying. So, I think that, we've got some interesting dynamics here.
That's very interesting, just because this team used to be the least interesting characters of all time, and now it's shaping up to be something actually readable.
Yeah, exactly. To me, it's again Young. I loved Young X-Men. The first 6 issues of that the first 5 issues of that are horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
They're horrifyingly bad, and the 6th issue is basically just Danny convincing Anoli to join the team, and after that, it's awesome.
Wait, was that Young X-Men or New X-Men? I was confused.
Young X-Men.
Young X-Men, okay.
It only ran for 12 issues.
Yeah. Well, like, that was with ink and everything, and he got crazy Phoenix powers from a tattoo. It's kind of silly.
Yeah, ink was dumb. The fact that technically Dust is only alive because ink is concentrating on keeping her alive is also dumb.
Yeah.
But I will just live with it until someone decides to rewrite history.
I mean, when Ink first came onto the scene, I thought that he was going to be like the tattooed villain from the very unfortunate Elektra movie, who had tattoos that came alive. It was really awesome. Like, that's a really cool power. But unfortunately, it was not that.
That's the tattooed man, right? He's on the cover of Titans this month.
Okay.
Fighting Vixen. I didn't read it.
And the last one that I have to talk about is X Factor.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so the artwork is actually noticeably not as bad as last week.
No.
Yeah, so something improved in the dimension of faces, etc.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still some horrible shots like this, where Rain looks like she looks like a man basically, and a not very anything man. He's just very lacking in every aspect of humanity. I do love that Farrell is a character.
Yeah. It's a great kind of like moment for comic history, because you're like, she's super anachronistic. She like her everything about her design is like super like
so 90s.
It's so 90s, and, like with like the hair and everything, and it's just like wow, like for for an industry that's accused of kind of like rehashing the same stories and not progressing, we've really like there's been a change. So.
At the same time, right, Black Canary in DCNU has that costume that she had way back in the day. Like, if you go look at like Project Rooftop or whoever, where they analyze Black Canary's costume, they'll reference whatever period of time that was, where she basically wore what she has now in the DCNU. And at some point, she went back to the old one. So it'll be interesting to see how long her DCNU costume lasts. I hope it's a while, because I really like it. I think it's much more feasible. But, for example, like Farrell's costume, not very feasible. She is wearing a pink leotard that is cut down to her belly button. So...
I mean, if it works for Lady Gaga.
But, I mean, that's the thing. Lady Gaga doesn't fight crime.
That you know of. That you know of.
Ooh, I'm so excited by that idea.
But yeah, so but one thing that I did think that was interesting from this is that I know that I didn't read a lot of X Factor for a while, so I didn't get that whole Layla Miller thing coming from the future to her past and getting older and hanging out with Doom. So evidently she also has like magic. I knew that she had I knew she had magic gauntlets, but I didn't know she had like magic knowledge. So she has magic knowledge evidently, and she's able to draw wards and crazy shit.
So the interesting thing about Layla Miller's power is that she always knew things, and she still knows things, even though they kind of explained how she knew things, and the way that worked was her older self implanted her memories into her younger self before the series started. Or like in that iconic scene where she's on the step and brings the butterfly back to life, which is her actual power to bring things back without a soul. Yeah, but she still knows things. She still knows that the demons are coming for everyone, which is why she starts warding the doors. And we don't know yet how she continues to know things. So it's interesting that they both gave an explanation and left us hanging. Yeah. So I thought that was cool. I like all the different gods.
Yeah, they're fun. I'm really confused. I was really confused by like the design of Bast or Bastet.
Yeah, because she stretches.
Yeah. I didn't get that at first. I'm like, that's a really bad drawing, and I was like, oh, never mind.
I thought the same thing for like a split second. I was like, that has to be on purpose, and so I was like, okay. I have no idea why she does that, but cool. It seems very. It doesn't seem very good. It seems like you get tied in knots really easily, but Mr. Fantastic doesn't. So I figure she's a god; she can manage.
Yeah, and we are left with the little. Is he a leprechaun or an imp or a?
He's a troll. I think. Pip the troll.
Yeah, Pip the troll is he's in the employ of someone nefarious who we don't know. And that's like the big cliffhanger. And
didn't Hela say that they would regret forgiving him? Yeah, and I'm like, Hela is not a necessarily evil character.
No, she's not.
Stuff. But
but just like evidently, X Factor doesn't watch Game of Thrones because you never trust the imp because he's got something up his sleeve. Just saying. Nice. But Peter Dinklage is the best thing about that show. The best. I mean, this is a really good show, but Peter Dinklage is the best part of that show.
Awesome. I haven't watched it at all. I'm waiting for True Blood.
Which I'm also excited about.
Yeah, very excited. And I'm watching Teen Wolf. You guys, Teen Wolf is awesome.
Yeah, I've never been a werewolf fan, but...
I've only been a werewolf fan. I'm like, God, why do I have to serve with all these vampires to get to the werewolves?
Yeah, but I will definitely be a werewolf where Alfie is involved, because that's just very lovely to look at.
I love that Alexander Skarsgård and Bill, whatever is who plays Bill? That guy. They all in the entertainment.
Whenever I think about Bill, like a friend of mine mentioned this because he said like the actor who plays Bill reminds him of a Muppet, the way that he only moves the top of his head. The guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. No, Alcide gets to wear coveralls. They don't cover anything.
Yeah, but speaking of True Blood, really quickly. So this week is Pride Week. Happy Pride, everyone! At least in New York City, Happy Pride. And so earlier in the week, me and my friends were all making signs for Pride, which we're marching together in my queer Asian org. And I really want to show you, speaking of True Blood, what the sign is. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he's getting the sign out. I want to give a shout out later. I have to tell him about that. Oh, that's awesome.
For those of you who can't see it, I don't know. It said True Pride, and on the back, the little fangs, and on the back it says, "I'm a fucking fairy." So it's gonna be awesome, guys. Come out to Pride, walk with us.
Yeah, totally. That's awesome. And before we go, I wanted to give a quick shout out to New Mutants.
Okay.
Because they changed the team and Karma's not on it, which is a horrible, horrible thing. But they've been keeping with the lesbians because they had a cameo from Victoria Hand, and then Karma's on the cover of the next issue. So I'm like, so you're bringing her back, right?
Yeah.
Because we need to bring her back.
Yeah.
Into the fold.
And also, like, I never read Age of Apocalypse. I've only kind of like glimpsed bits of it, and there was some crazy fucking shit that came out of Age of Apocalypse. One of them being the big bad in this issue, who is like character design wise, looks like he came straight out of the monster manual of D&D, like 3.5, like crazy fucking shit.
Sugarman is effed up. Yeah, definitely. No, 4 people came back. Nemesis, who's dead now. Nate Gray, who's dead and came back. Sugarman, who's just living in the sewers, and Dark Beast, who's just living in the sewers. So the moral of this story is, if you ever find yourself in an apocalyptic future, and you have a teleportation device to get back to a less apocalyptic time, live in the sewers, otherwise you'll die.
And on that note, thank you for tuning into this week's issue of Scarlet Betch. Make sure you stay tuned and see us later.